Have you ever wondered why your shop that you go to, or whenever you talk to maybe one of your mechanic friends, whoever it may be, works at a shop, versus the auto manufacturer has all kinds of or has very different fluid service recommendations and just service recommendations in general? I'm going to try to give a real brief explanation of where that comes from and why you're going to see a lot of those differences. I'll say first off that you should probably listen to whoever works on your vehicle or works on vehicles, on a regular basis, because typically they probably know what they're talking about when it comes to that stuff. But so the first thing I go to is with the manufacturer when it comes to their service recommendations and how long they recommend things, whether they recommend them or whether they don't. Rather than that being brought up from the manufacturing side of it, it is actually the marketing team that decides what those recommendations are going to be. So the marketing team is obviously more worried about selling cars than about keeping them on the road long term. They put maintenance intervals between your oil change, transmission services, other fluid services, just all that kind of stuff. They're more worried about selling vehicles and what keeps people happy in the long term on maintaining a vehicle. And then the other thing that those people also go off of is consumer ratings. So how people rate a car. And obviously, as the average consumer, it is nicer to not have to spend as much money on, servicing your vehicle, whether it's even oil changes as often, whether it's servicing the transmission as often, older vehicles, even something simple as power steering fluid, and all this kind of stuff. And so if a manufacturer either doesn't recommend them at all or recommends them in long intervals, they get better ratings because it's cheaper to run the vehicle that way. Versus obviously your shop is going by real world results from what they see every day from cars coming into the shop to recommend to you what your fluid services should be. And so in this video, I'm not going to get into what all they should be, but that is the big reason why you see the differences in those.